Hi, my dear students. Good morning to all. Welcome back to Maths Online class. Today we can start our next chapter, that is chapter 12. So, you have studied many methods for comparison, isn't it? This chapter depends upon the method of comparison, that is a new method for comparison. Let's have a look on to the chapter. What is a chapter? What all things you have to study in this chapter? Let's have a look into that. We know to compare the things, isn't it? By seeing this picture, we can find out which is the larger ball and the smaller ball. Yes, this is a larger ball. So, some figures by mere observation itself, we can find out which is larger and smaller. That is one method of comparison, isn't it? By seeing this, a lion is always larger than a rat. This fact is already a known fact to us. This is also a method of comparison. Also, an elephant is larger or bigger in size. Sometimes the quantities will be the same or the objects will be same. We have to compare. For example, here the two pencils, both objects are two pencils, but since there is a difference in the length and that can be identified by our eyes, we can say which pencil is smaller and which is larger. This is smaller in size and this is larger, so this pencil is larger. So this is also a method of comparison, that is just comparing by merely our eyes, just by a mere observation. Here one is a tall man and one is a short man, so we can say who is larger in size. In similar way, we can by mere observation we can say which object is having larger weight or smaller weight. This all comparison we are doing by our just mere observation. If there is a slight change in the weight or length, it cannot be found out by our observation. So, next chapter we are dealing with something comparison, and that is our chapter 12, ratio and proportion. So, what is ratio and how we are comparing using ratio and all, we can discuss in this chapter. So, let's see what is ratio and all. So, what's our next chapter? Ratio and proportion. Let's discuss more about ratio. That is, what do you mean by the concept ratio and where we use the method of ratio? Let's discover more about ratio. Consider one example. Let Isha's weight be 25 kg and father's weight be 75 kg. So we can compare the weight using ratio. That is, we are finding the ratio of father's weight to Isha's weight. So how we can find it? So we are finding the ratio to father's weight to Isha's weight. So what is father's weight here? 75 and Isha's weight is 25. So finding the ratio 75 by 25. Now this is same as a fraction. We are having a numerator and a denominator. Now we have studied a fraction in simplest form, isn't it? The same method we are using here also. That is, this ratio 75 by 25, I am going to convert it into its simplest form. That is, what is common in numerator and denominator, that we will cancel down, and what is remaining, that I am going to find out. So, using the method of LCM or HCF. HCF we are using here, that is what is common between 75 and 25. 25 is common in both, that is HCF of 75 and 25, we are getting 25. So cancelling down the common factor, what we are remaining? 3 by 1. Now using ratio, how we will write? 3 is to 1. This is the symbol of ratio. These two dots is the symbol of ratio. So we read it as 3 is to 1. That is the ratio of father's weight to Isha's weight is what? 3 is to 1. What does it actually mean? That is, here 3 represent the weight of father and 1 represent the weight of Isha. That is, Isha's weight, father's weight is 3 times Isha's weight. That is actually, it means, what is means? Here 3 is representing father's weight and 1 is representing Isha's weight. So what we mean from this is father's weight is 3 times Isha's weight. So in this way we are comparing, and this is known as ratio. So how many times we are comparing using how many times, that is the method of ratio. That means actually we are dividing the numbers and finding the ratio. Here the method, the concept of fraction is also using here. So this method is known as ratio and we are using it for mainly comparison. So what is the ratio of father's weight to Isha's weight? 3:1, which means 3 represent father and 1 represent Isha's weight. Consider in another example, the cost of pen is rupees 10 and the cost of pencil is rupees 2. So we are finding the cost ratio of the cost of pen to the cost of pencil. So first we are considering cost of pen. So we are writing cost of pen at the numerator and to the cost of pencil. So writing denominator what? Cost of pencil. So what is cost of pen? Rupees 10 and cost of pencil 2. Now finding ratio 10 by 2. What we have to do? Finding the common factor between 10 and 2. That is 2 is the common factor. Dividing throughout by 2. 10 divided by 2, 5. 2 divided by 2, 1. So what is the ratio we are getting? 5 by 1, or in other words 5:1. How we will read it is 5:1. So the ratio of cost of pen to the cost of pencil is 5:1, which means the cost of a pen is 5 times the cost of a pencil. That is, we are comparing the cost of pen to cost of pencil. Comparing in means of pencil, the cost of pen. What? The cost of a pen is 5 times the cost of a pencil. So in this way, this method of comparison is the ratio. So we can practice some more examples on ratio. So that's the concept of ratio. Let's discuss more on ratio. That is, solve some more questions on ratio from the first exercise. So we can solve some problems from the exercise 12.1. Let's take the first question. There are 20 girls and 15 boys in a class. What is the ratio? First question. What is the ratio of number of girls to the number of boys? Second question. What is the ratio of number of girls to the total number of students in the class? So what facts are given in the question? There are 20 girls and 15 boys in a class. So the number of girls and number of boys are given. What are the questions? What all ratios we have to find? First one, what is the ratio of number of girls to the number of boys? That means ratio of number of girls to number of boys. And second question, what is the ratio of number of girls to the total number of students? So how can we find the total number of students? The given fact is number of girls and boys in the class. So what makes total? So how can we find the total number of students? In a class, we will have only boys and girls. So number of boys and number of girls are given. We have to find the total number of students, means we have to add the total number. So let's see how to solve this problem. What facts are given? Number of girls is given as 20 and number of boys is given as 15. So the first question, we have to find the ratio of number of girls to the number of boys. So for finding the ratio, first they are asking the number of girls. So first we wrote number of girls to number of boys. So 20 by 50. Now we got the ratio 20 by 50. Now next step is we have to make it into simplest form. So the common factor in 20 and 15 is what? 5. So dividing throughout 5, 20 divided by 5 we have 4 and 15 divided by 5 we have 3. So what? Now 4 by 3 we got, there is no more common factors between 4 and 3. So we can say the ratio between boys and girls and boys. Girls and boys is 4 by 3, or in other words 4:3. So the ratio of girls to the number of boys is 4 is to 3. Now one more part is there in the question. That is, we have to find the ratio of number of girls to the total number of students, isn't it? Now next part, we know girls is 20 and number of boys is 15. We have to find out the ratio of girls to the total number of students. So that first we are finding the total number of students. Total number of students means adding girls and boys. That is 20 plus 15 we have 35. So the total number of students in the class is 35. Now we have to find the ratio of number of girls to the ratio number of total number of students. That is, girls is 20 and total we got 35. So the ratio will be 20 by 35. Again, we have common factor in 20 and 35 what? 5. So 20 divided by 5 we have 4. 35 divided by 5 we have 7. Now 4 and 7 there is no more common factors. So the ratio what? 4 is to 7. So when you are using the method of ratio, that ratio should be in common terms. There should be no common factors between the two terms. Here 4 and 7 there is no common factors. That is, you have to write it in the simplest form. Now one more thing, if you look, you can see that for finding out the ratio, both the data should be in the same unit. Here girls and boys both are in number. In the previous example questions, we first discussed cost of pen and cost of pencil. That two units are rupees. Then weight, both are in kg. So when you are using the method of ratio, the unit should be same. So then you can compare it in the using ratio method. Both the quantities should be given in the same unit. Next example, find the ratio 81 to 108. Here they haven't given any unit and all for both the numbers, so no problem. So 81 to 108. So we are finding the ratio 81 by 108. Now what is the next step? We have to reduce to its two simplest forms. Okay, 81 and 108, the common factor. First I divided by 3. So 81 divided by 3 I got 27. 108 divided by 3 I got 36. Now 27 and 36, which is the common factor? 9 is the common factor. So dividing throughout 9. 27 divided by 9 I got 3. 36 divided by 9 I got 4. Now 3 by 4, there is no common factor between 3 by 4. So the ratio 81 is to 108 is what? 3 is to 4. So once you are getting the ratio, it should be in the simplest form. Second example, 33 kilometer to 121 kilometer. So here both are given in kilometers, so there is no problem. So finding the ratio 33 kilometer to 121 kilometer means 33 by 121. Here in 33 and 121, the common factor is only 11. You know how to find out the common factor, isn't it? By finding out the HCF of the numerator and the denominator. So 33 and 121, you are getting the HCF as 11. So dividing throughout the HCF, 33 divided by 11, you will get 3. 121 divided by 11, you are getting 11 itself. So what is it? 3 by 11, there is no more common factors. So the ratio is 3 is to 11. Now third question, 55 paisa to rupees 1. When you see here this one is given in 55 paisa and this is given as rupees. That is, both the quantities are in different units. So first step is you have to convert it into the same unit. Either you have to convert this paisa to rupees or this rupees to paisa. So for easy calculation, I am converting this rupees 1 to paisa. You know rupees 1 is what? 100 paisa. So instead of rupees 1, I can write 100 paisa. Now when you see both are in same unit, 55 paisa and 100 paisa. Now then you can find the ratio. So what is the ratio? 55 by 100. Now what is the common factor in 55 and 100? 5 is the only common factor. So dividing 55 divided by 5, you will get 11. 100 divided by 5, you are getting 20. So the ratio is 11 is to 20. So when they are given in different units, the first step is you have to convert it into the same unit. You can find out the ratio of two quantities or compare two quantities when they are expressed in the same units only. So convert it into the same units. One more example, 500 ml to 2 liter. Here this is expressed in milliliter and this is given in liter. Both are in different units. So for easy calculation, always convert the larger one to the smaller one. So there will be no decimal point. If you are converting milliliter to liter, you will have decimal point. So there will be a complex calculation. So make it easy. For easy calculation, convert to the smallest. So 1 liter is 1000 ml. So converting 2 liter, what you will get? 2000 ml. Now 500 ml and 2000 ml both are in same unit, isn't it? Now you can find out the ratio. So the ratio is 500 by 2000. Now first cancelling out the zeros. You know, when numerator and denominator are having common zeros, you can cancel out the zeros first. So here two zeros are there. Here also we are cancelling out two zeros. You cannot cancel all the zeros, but you can cancel common number of zeros. So two zeros are common, so we cancelled out that first. Now what is remaining? Here 5, here and 20. So 5 by 20. Now which is the common factor in 5 and 20? 5 is the common factor. So 5 divided by 5 you are getting 1. 20 divided by 5 is 4. Now there will be no more common factor because one is 1 now and other one is 4. So there is no common factor. So the ratio is what? 1 is to 4. So the ratio of 500 ml to 2 liter is what? 1 is to 4. So if the quantities are given in different units, you cannot compare or find out the ratio at the first step itself. What is the first step? First you have to convert into the two quantities into the same unit. So while converting into units and all, any conversion you can have, but for easy calculation, make the conversion larger to smaller. So there will be no decimal point. So in this way, convert to same unit, then find out the ratio. Once you got the ratio, you have to make it into the simplest form. So winding up today's class, today we discussed on the topic ratio from the chapter Ratio and Proportion. So it's a method for comparison. When we are comparing using ratio method, both the quantities should be in the same unit. And we are using the concept of fractions in ratio. Now the concept of ratio, the symbol of ratio is and all new to you. So practice more questions by yourself. Copy down the notes given and attend the test paper. We'll meet with the next concept of this chapter. Thank you.